Hello, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. You?
Yeah, very good indeed. Thanks. Very good indeed. Look, thanks very much for joining. I'll cut to the chase quickly because I know you're on a slightly tighter timescale today. Basically, as you know, I've done one or two videos on your sort of first fight on my YouTube channel.
I've made it onto your channel, have I?
You've made it onto the channel. I've done two videos about the journey, how you've gone from...
Anyone interested?
Well, we got a few views, got a few people interested in the story. So what it was, I wanted to invite you onto the channel, ask you a few questions, introduce you to everyone. I know you don't want like names and stuff, so that's fine. We'll just keep it with mate and stuff. But good to know that you haven't seen the videos. What I've done is, you know, I give you a bit of banter in the gym about midlife crisis and all of that stuff. I've kind of run with it, like you know, given the background that you know you're a fit guy, you're a personal trainer, but you haven't done boxing before up till about, you know, a few years ago, and it's all new to you. But obviously, your first fight was a week ago or so. How are you feeling after that? How are you thinking?
Terrific, to be honest. I think I left some in the ring. Next time, I think we'll take it to a different level. But you know, for a first outing, I'm pretty pleased.
Absolutely, mate.
Next time I can't come soon enough.
Definitely. What about sort of learning curves? Obviously, we spoke about it after the fight. Tight 2 rounds, you won by stoppage. How do you feel it went?
Okay, much for the first round or two. I've seen how the pros do it. I've seen, you know, some of these good heavyweights, and not that I think they're overly good, but some of the bigger fights, you suss each other out. You know, you jab, a couple of rounds, see how it goes, and then you come into it. And I think in a 3-round fight that this was, I probably left it a little bit long to come into it. I think I should have, you know, really gone for the right and the left early doors. I think next time you'll see a bit more from me.
Well, how long do you want to leave it before your next out, mate?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I think I'd like to put on a bit more weight for the next fight. I was up against a shorter but heavier man.
Yeah.
You know, what I would say is when it came to the punching, I felt good, felt strong. But in terms of the sort of the brawling, the wrestling, you know, I felt that I could do with an extra stone or two. So, you know, I'd like to be back in the ring in 6 weeks, but I'd like to be a stone bigger at least by then.
What, in 6 weeks?
Yep, in 6 weeks, because I can't for the fight, you see.
Yeah, I get you, mate. I do think realistically that at this level, you know, you're sort of where you're strong is that you are an athletic guy. You can move, you can run around the ring, you're fit. I know what you're talking about. Obviously, being heavier helps, but do you think it could affect your movement and your stamina and that sort of stuff?
It's an interesting one. I mean, to be honest, after the fight, and I've watched it back on, you know, one of our mates' phones who videoed it. And having seen it, I'm a bit in 2 minds. Like, I'm pleased to come out of it with the win. I really am. And I'm just thinking about the bigger picture here. Like, obviously, that's, you know, it's 1 from 1, and, you know, it will definitely be 2 from 2. But in terms of when I turn pro, what I've got to balance out is, will it be heavy one? Or will it be slightly lighter? Now, heavyweight, but that's something I really want to have a chat with you at a later date. In terms of adding the weight, I think I could be as agile at 1 stone heavier, and I think that's what I'll probably try for next time out, just to see, test the water. Yeah,
I mean, at present, like, you're walking around, as I understand it, like 210, 215 pounds. Cruiserweight limit professionally is 200 pounds. So, like, when guys like David Hay were winning the cruiserweight belts, they were probably similar size to you, and I would think, like, you know, the heavyweights nowadays are so big, you'd probably be better off cutting to 200. But obviously that's some way off. I mean, we did speak about you having ambitions to, you know, to have a shot at the pros, but in your mind, how old are you?
34, mate.
How many years, I mean, I guess, without being rude, and it's hard to say this without being rude, but you've got to make the move to the pros sooner rather than later if you're looking to campaign that way.
You know, you say that, and I think there's some merit in that. that. I mean, I'd like to, in my head, and this is just, a pretty sort of broad picture. I'd like 5 amateur fights, and then I'd like to go pro. Now, I'd like them all to be this side of the new year, if possible, because I like to fast track things. But I feel fit, and we all see what Bernard is doing. So at his age, so I don't know. I wouldn't say there's too many worries on that side. I'd like 10 years to achieve my goal here, and I'm going in the right direction. I mean, I'm an unbeaten fighter.
It's a good way of looking at it, certainly. And in terms of the pros, like, obviously the heavyweight division in England is, it's quite a busy place to be at present. Obviously, not getting too ahead of ourselves. That's a long way off, as you say. But what level? I mean, would you see yourself fighting for an English title or a Southern Area title? I mean, do you have any sort of idea of what the end goal is here?
Well, the end goal would be the world title. I mean, that is a stretch even to me at this point. To be honest, to be English champion of anything would be a great honour. And having watched some of the heavyweights around at the minute at the real elite level, I don't think they're having too much I couldn't. I think it's experience, and I'm getting experience by the day.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, how quickly do you think? Obviously, we've talked about your age already. How quickly do you think you're going to need to move when you enter the pros?
In terms of when I'm left to be a professional boxer?
No, what I mean is, how many fights do you see yourself having in the pros? Obviously, typically people have, 10, 15 fights before they fight for that English title level.
Well, I'd like to, as I said, I'd like 5 amateur fights.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see where I'm at. In terms of when I get myself in a position for a title fight, I'd like to think I could do that in another 5.
What, after turning pro?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll tell you what, I was reading up on Twitter not so long ago, and that boxer Shevchenko did it fairly for himself.
which one, mate?
Shevchenko.
What's his story then? I don't know about that one.
He essentially went and got himself a title for
Lomchenko.
That's the one.
That's Shevchenko. You had me confused there for a second. All right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would use that as an example. But I think heading in the right direction. I mean, what I would say in the first fight is I left it too late, but then when I opened up, I hit him with the right, I hit him with the left, and I hit him down the middle, and he folded. He was tired. I think my fitness at this level is pretty strong. I think that's where I might come into my own.
Look, I know you don't want your name given out and stuff, and that's perfectly fine. Obviously, if you want to go into the pros, that's something you're going to have to address, because you can't fight anonymously in the pros. But quick question for the people watching, and we'll certainly have you again on with your full disclosure if you do, which I'm sure you will do, go to the pros. But could you describe your fighting style? Could you describe who you see yourself in the mould of, just to the people who will be listening?
Yeah, well, what I would say is defensively, and defensively is something I've been working very hard on. I mean, what I would say is, in terms of defensive movement, Floyd Mayweather, well, and they're not getting ready to observe. Unfortunately, it's hard because I wouldn't say there's too many heavyweights as I've seen. But if you've seen Sonny Bill Williams box, there's a bit of that in move, on build. I think there's that. I'm a bit taller than David Hay, but we're quick, so there's
Well, it sounds like you're going to win a world title, mate. You can hit as hard as David Hay. You're as defensively gifted as Floyd Mayweather, and Yeah, you got the athleticism of Sonny Bill Williams, hey?
Well, you know, as I say, there is an end to time. I mean, I'm giving up everything, but still what people have.
Mate, we're losing you a bit. The signal's gone a bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I can say I've given up for this. I mean, I've still my training on the side. I've got my clients and I'm thankful to them for this. But I mean, I'm sleeping 4 hours a night. I'm training so hard, and you know, when you've got to go for it. And I'm really going for it. So it's not full stand. It's going to be hard, and I'm not the youngest, but you know, you do see these success stories, and I feel fit as a fiddle, and I'm hitting hard. So
Mate, fair play to you, fair play to you. And listen, thanks very much for coming on. I'm going to cut it short because, if I'm honest, the phone line hasn't been too great. But we've caught what you're saying. And look, best of luck for the second fight. I'll catch up with you very soon. And I'm sure I'll catch you in the gym. And hopefully we can have you back on after that.
I'd appreciate that. And I'll tell you what wouldn't be the worst story is I've had a bit of Twitter recently with quite a known boxer. And I'm willing to pay him for a sparring session. Now, if this comes to fruition, I will, you know, it'd be nice to tell you how that one goes.
Bloody hell, mate. Okay, we'll have to talk more about that one offline. I look forward to that.
Pleasure. Well, look, thanks for your time. We'll speak soon, I'm sure.
All right, mate. Catch you soon. Cheers. Bye now.